Hey, Jamal.
Hey, what's going on?
Oops. Sorry about that. Ah, sorry if you heard that. Um, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Welcome in the
How's,
zone, or welcome to the zone. And
yes, welcome everybody. Welcome.
I want to give a special shout out to Iane because she was the first one in the chat. So thank you so much.
Ooh, thanks for being here. Thanks for making it.
Yes. Now, this is a big day for you. Before we get into our little review of Johannesburg, this is a big day for you. Are you still doing that special appearance this afternoon?
As far as as far as I know, yes, but I'll confirm. But if all else fails, I'll probably just call in anyway because I was asked to. So we're
Hmm.
that's the plan. I'll put it that way.
Do you know what time the show is? Because I thought I saw two different times.
12.
12 for you, so
For
3.
me, yeah, that's the normal time. I haven't seen anything different.
Okay, so what we're talking about, because right now we're not making much sense. Jamal is going to be on All About the Tea this afternoon. And I know that a lot of our chatsters are already, fans of Monica and All About the Tea, but Jamal is going to be on today calling in. So, we love to hear his viewpoints.
It's
So if we
2:10.
could just celebrate.
You're right.
Hmm?
Sorry to interrupt. My apologies, but I just looked it up just to confirm. It's actually 2:10 my time, so later than normal.
Then that's 5:10 East Coast.
Right.
Okay. She's shifted that time because it started off at about 4, then it went to
Okay.
3:10, and this is all Eastern times. And so now you've given me a new time. So okay, we will find All About the Tea and Monica and her panel no matter what. Set your reminders, and we'll see Jamal on there today. Yay! Cool. All right. So let's see who's in the room. Oh my gosh. So Ian, we already said hi. Hello. Ablavi. Hello. Gatatua. Trey. Oh my God, Trey. Trey was so good on Busy Blues uh cooking with Tay the Bay episode yesterday. She was so funny, and she's a moderator on that show, which is congratulations for that, Trey. She does an excellent job handling all of those shenanigans over on Busy Blues channel. Okay.
Okay.
Any other announcements that we have today?
No, I guess only the reason why we have the early shows. So when we do early shows, we generally just do a recap of the show and let you guys chat in the comments. So we won't
Mhm.
be taking callers on the short recaps. So what we are gearing towards to our live chats will be for basically current shows, quote unquote live shows only. And then for shows like Johannesburg and Vancouver, we'll be doing like these type of shows just because they're kind of defunct um, and don't take much time. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
in the live chats, I want to be able to talk to about the current shows, but these shows are so interesting. We started recapping them because they're just so good, even though they're canceled. So that's the premise for these earlier shows.
Did you get a chance to see Atlanta, like on off topic? Did you get a chance to see that?
Yeah, I watched that.
Okay. It is
So yeah, I did
picking
watch that last night.
just a smidge. Just a smidge.
Yeah, it's it's slowly ramping up, but it's okay. Like I could deal.
It's like Chinese water torture, honestly. Okay, and then
Yeah,
tomorrow we're gonna do our TLC Tuesday with 90 Day and Unexpected. Yes?
yes, and we have Atlanta today at 1 my time, right? We're still
One
good,
more
right?
time. So that's 4 for me, 4 Eastern.
We're waiting. Yeah, because we're waiting for confirmation all about the tea live, so we just didn't want to collide. So it
Okay,
looks like
so
we'll be
this is
good with our
11
normal
o'clock
time.
for you right now. If we can get through
Right.
this, then maybe 12 your time, 3 my time, and that way you'll be all free and clear.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so let's get to the giddy up. All right, Real Housewives of Johannesburg, season 1, episode 5. The name of the episode is Vegan Fever. Honestly, I feel like we celebrate her first anniversary of being a vegan in every episode, and I want it to be over. I am so proud of Mercy and her food journey, her weight journey, all of that. But this cannot be your storyline. It just can't until the end of the episode where it seems like it's veering off into somebody else's business. But I digress. What
Yeah, I felt this. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna ask you, what did you think? Am I
I was
wrong
like,
here? Like,
no, I felt the same way. Like, this is gonna be your whole storyline. Like, your whole storyline is gonna be about your 1 year anniversary of being a vegan. I did not know that this could be a storyline. I could see if she was a chef who was a vegan. I could see that. Like, she was a professional chef. She specialized in vegan cuisine. I get that, but if it's just you being a vegan, I'm like, like it was cute for like 2 episodes, but that's
mhm.
about it.
I, I was just very disappointed. Um, I don't know. I'm just tired, very tired.
Yeah,
Um, let's see what else happened in this episode. Crystal, I know
Crystal.
you had some. Yeah, Crystal,
I mean,
whatever, however you pronounce her name. I should call her
you
Lydia.
mean Lydia,
Yeah.
right?
Um, what were your
Lydia.
thoughts on her?
She's aggravating, but for some reason she's probably the most interesting person on the show. Like,
Oh my
do we want to start
God.
how she's out here acting a fool, but got a publicist? Do we want to start there?
But that publicist didn't even know, she didn't even seem to know about Christelle and her background. She seemed like a publicist PR that you hire for the day, kind of like, a day of wedding coordinator. Like she was just hired for the day. She came over in ripped jeans. Like, like she had no clue about who Christelle / Lydia thinks she is.
She had me rolling. I'm like, you have a PR, but you out here looking like this in the streets? Okay. Like, I would think your PR person would feel like, hey, you really shouldn't say these things, and this is the reason why. Not you just. I just didn't understand what the publicist actually did. I saw her come in, with her little laptop and take a couple notes, but I didn't see anything of substance.
So she's trying to remix this song that she took to Capitol Records.
Hmm.
Is that even true? I don't even know. And like she tells so many lies that I don't
Oh,
believe anything she says.
I mean, hey, like she was with Charlize, but we'll get to that.
That came out of nowhere. And that's another reason why I don't believe anything she says. What else was happening in this? Oh, another interesting point. Mercy actually tells who was it she was talking to? Brunette, that she's moving out of Madame's house so that like her boyfriend can come over and sleep over if he wants to. Like,
Yeah.
she wants to like spread her wings, I guess.
Hmm. Exactly. I was happy. I was happy for her, and that ties into what the lady's friend was it Larike? Is that her name? Is it
Lyrica.
Larike? I can't.
It's spelled like
Lyrica. Thank
Lyrica,
you.
but they say Lyrica.
Thank you. I kept trying to hear for her name. Like, say her name so I know it, so I pronounce it
Mhm.
correctly. that ties into what she was talking about, how like we don't know whether we're friends with you or your mother.
Hmm.
So the fact that she's moving out is a good thing for her, so she can kind of separate herself from her mother. So there, when I think of Mercy, I really don't think of Mercy by herself. I think, well, Mercy and Madame, to be honest.
Hmm. She doesn't have any other identity other than her mother's tag along.
Yeah,
It's very odd, their
true.
relationship. It's not really mother daughter, at least not what they have presented on the show, because I would never give my mom like S&M toys. What?
Right. I I think what it is, I from what I can see, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Mercy's her only child, right? Am I understanding that correctly from what I've seen?
She
If I've missed
hasn't
another child, let me
mentioned
know.
anybody else.
Okay, so I think what it was is that I guess when her she divorced her husband or he left or whatever, like Mercy, they just kind of like hung on to each other for support. So that I could see that happening when they're growing up as friends, and her mom, Madame, understood like I need to be really really be there for my daughter. And you even heard in that clip, I'm sure if you caught it, but she said like I need to be my daughter's best friend. I'm like, ooh, no, you
My
don't.
mother's always told me,
Oh,
I'm not your friend, I'm your parent. Don't get it mixed up. So I don't know.
so Blobby
Oh,
says she has a
wait.
younger daughter. Okay.
Oh, she does. Oh my God, poor girl.
So
Um,
I've been listening. I'm like, where is another child at? Where's another child at? Is there anyone else? Is it just you guys? I think she's called
it's
Princess. Oh, gotta look into her.
she's called Princess. Interesting. Mercy and Princess. Very fitting names. Okay, so
Hmm.
the ladies go to a Bikram yoga studio. Um, Mercy and her friend Exhale. Where are they getting these names from? And Crystal, they go to do the yoga. And Crystal looks like a wounded gazelle during this session. But she makes it through, but Mercy does not. I think she needs to reevaluate the protein that she's getting in her vegan diet.
Yeah, she has. I think she needs a protein shake to supplement her food to get her protein in, because it just seems like she
Yeah.
kind of petered out kind of quickly for someone
Yeah.
who works out as much as she does. But again, yoga is different than resistance and cardio training, so I could get the like why she may have petered out, because she may not do yoga that often. So it kind of makes sense. But upping her protein might have helped her last longer.
Yeah. It was a little concerning though, because I thought she was going to faint. I really did. It was like she was
Hmm.
dehydrated and like she needed sugar. She,
Right.
maybe she needs a nutritionist. Maybe Madame could get that for her. Oh, what did
Right.
you think of the showdown at the restaurant? Not the really showdown, but the meetup between Cristal and Madame. I thought they were going to
You know
fight, but
what?
they
It
didn't.
just They didn't. They seemed like actual genuine friends who had a misunderstanding, and it was nice to see like they both apologized. I wasn't really expect. I expected one person to hold out the apology from the other one. Well, no, you're gonna apologize to me first. No, I'm not apologizing to you. You apologize. It wasn't like a bickering back and forth of like you did this, you did this, you did this. They both said, "Hey, we're friends. I said this. I didn't mean it that way. I said something. Anger," and I'm like, okay, this is I'm liking this. I'm liking this conversation. This is ladies, other ladies take notes. This is what you do.
See, I was very surprised at Cristal, but Cristal has established a very bad habit of not listening to people. And I
Hmm.
didn't think she was going to listen to anything that Madame had to say and take it in. And I didn't think she was going to be big enough to issue a sincere apology to Madame. And she surprised me. She did.
Hmm. And she's like,
Um,
"Where's this person been? These other episodes."
mhm. Let's see. Okay, so let's see what else. Okay, so we get to the part of the episode where Mercy is meeting up with a friend. Um, and the talk about Naledi starts, and this is where I got confused because by the end of the episode at the vegan party, they dropped some comments that left me totally bewildered. But it's during this little luncheon where her friend doesn't want anything to do with the people on the show, that they're fake. And the first comment against Naledi has been dropped. Um, it didn't make much sense to me then, but then at the end of the episode, it's kind of becoming a bit clearer. Um, what else? What else went on here? Um, then we
Oh,
see we
Crystal lied.
pardon?
I think was that the scene afterward that Crystal day at the dinner party they're talking and this and that and Mercy I would say was it Mercy and Crystal they had words because of a situation where Crystal says, "Oh, I'm kind of still in love with my ex," and blah 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 blah. Is that where you're going next?
Yes, yeah. They set up
Okay,
the
okay.
party. It looks really beautiful. It almost looks, a lot of the women commented that it looked like a wedding. And it was beautiful. So pretty. Um, Christelle, as usual, starts spouting lies about how she was roommating with Charlize Theron and probably doesn't know how to say Charlize's name like I don't. They laugh at her for that. Madame tells her not now. Don't spout, your stories or your lies now. This is my daughter's event. You know, Brunette is just shady as hell in all of her confessionals, and she just thinks that Cristal's a total liar. Um, and then Merci, she also speaks to, like, she asks Naledi, when are we going to get invited to your house for an event? Which I thought was odd. Um, but
Yes,
Naledi is just like, I'm busy. I'm in law school, I have no time, and I'm starting a fashion line with my friend Lyrica. And then, they started like Merci, I'm gonna tell y'all, Merci made me think that Lyrica and Naledi were in a relationship and that Naledi has something to hide at her home. And she's a newlywed with her husband, right? DJ? Did the DJ something?
yeah. That's what I gathered. Like they're like newlyweds. So why would they want people at their house? I'm sorry.
Well, it's not required that you have something at your house because I don't think this event took place at Madame's house, did it? It looked like a hotel to me.
That's what it looked like to me. I mean, they had something scheduled at Madame's house, but the rain kept everyone away but Crystal, and
Right.
then Crystal threw a party, so that's two. Um, and the lady invited them to her mother's 50th party. Yeah, it wasn't at her house,
Mm-hmm.
but she still invited you to an event.
Burnett had the wedding.
And who else? Burnett
Burnett
had the
had her wedding.
wedding.
Yeah. They've
And
got a
has
lot
Lindy
of
had well
events.
Lindy
Oh,
and Lindy
mm-hmm.
Lindy haven't had a little thing yet, but Lindy ain't been on the show too much either.
No, Lindy had the bri at her
The
home,
bride.
remember? Yeah. So even though she's not there, like you
Yes.
said, she still had an event at her home.
She still had it in her home. I don't know why. I mean, you know what? Because not too much really happened that was interesting at the bride. To be honest, at least to me.
Oh,
So I
Gatatua
forgot about
says
it that quick.
says something here. Maybe her house isn't just fancy enough for the group. That's true. Well,
That's true. That's a good. It could be.
True. Okay, because we really haven't seen anything of her home. We always see her with someone
Mm-mm.
else. Okay.
Right.
So, yeah, what else happened here? I think, oh, what else? I think that's about it.
Lyrica and Mercy pulls Lyrica aside. She's trying to figure the
Oh,
lady
yeah.
out. She's at the point where, like, if I've done anything wrong to her, then I'm not gonna waste my energy. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. You expect people to make these like these um how can I put this? Like, you want people to engage you, like in earnest, but you don't feel like you need to make the same engagement
Effort, yeah.
attempts. Okay, I
I
thank
was
you effort.
confused. Yeah, I was confused by that scene because here's why. She wanted to know if there was something that Mercy had done to Nalidi to get this frostiness. And Lyrica is a very
Hmm.
good go-between because although Lyrica knows that there is tension, she goes, "Oh no, 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 it's just sometimes, she just needs to get to know people a little bit better." And she's also confused by the dynamic between you and your mom. Like, she's never been friends with a mother daughter before, so she doesn't know you know how to handle it because they do come off more as sisters than mother daughter,
Yeah.
and she handled
Hmm.
that really, really well. And so when Mercy said, like, okay, if I didn't do anything, then I'm going to leave it alone. Well, then
Hmm.
you must have cared if you asked. So you really do want to
Exactly. That's the way
engage.
I felt.
Yeah. So she made no sense. And I thought it was very blatant how she pulled her aside at a big gathering. There was like about what, 15, 16 people there. Um
Right.
it made it very obvious that you singled out one person to call to the side.
Exactly.
It was just very
Exactly.
weird. Very weird.
And then and then to end the show, if I recall, um I want to say it was like Naledi and Crystal had words because of Crystal being very basically flippant about still being in love with her ex, and I just felt Crystal was very defensive unnecessarily, in my opinion, because you brought this up. No one needed to know that, and you can't get mad when people give you their opinion and it opposes yours.
See, when that scene came up, I just thought Cristal was saying something that she knew would be inflammatory to get attention. That's
Hmm.
how I feel about her. Like, no
But
one in that, no one would have thought, like, she's married to Eddie. These women know who her husband is and that he is her current husband.
right,
And yet you're sitting there in front of them saying that you are still in love with an ex-boyfriend who is married. Like, how do you come off? And how does that look to them, like
exactly,
your husband? How are they supposed to go and say even hi to Eddie without going, well, damn, she don't even love you?
exactly, exactly. Oh, it was just I didn't understand her bringing that up and then her saying it and then getting mad when people gave their opinion. Like, yeah, I know.
And Nalidi had a
But I
point.
think
She
overall
goes,
this is
it's
another good episode.
insulting to her husband. I thought that was a very good point.
Right. Yes. And that's the point. I think that's what they all were feeling. That's what they're all trying to get across.
Mhm.
But Chris is like, well, he knows and he's fine with this. Like, but still, just because he's fine with it doesn't mean it's not disrespectful.
Yeah. And to say, like, what husband is going to be fine with that unless he's bought and paid for? And that's the impression that you're giving of Eddie. He's just an accessory, like
But
a vase that you put on a table.
mhm. But Eddie admits
Ugh.
that too, and he's fine with it. So I'm not gonna get too. I'm not gonna go on. I'm not gonna like disparage her on that point because he's like completely fine.
There's something so
But I
wrong
guess
about
that's what
Crystal and her whole story. It doesn't gel to me.
it just doesn't fit properly. Like you say this and then but you show this and then you say this but you show this and then we come back to it and it's different then. It's like, okay,
Mhm.
like are you just I think you're on the right track. She thinks she just does things for attention and and secure her spot.
Yeah. Okay, well,
That's my, I think you're on the right track there.
yeah, but I think she says these things thinking that they're gonna make her pop, but she just like
Hmm.
for me, I look at her and go, "What? Did you really just say that?"
I agree. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah. Was there anything else that happened in this episode?
No, that was it. It was like I think I am enjoying these international shows because I really feel like the stories move and I'm not
Mhm.
bored with the same storyline. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Outside of Mercy's like veganism, I think the stories that moved along and they're great. They're very entertaining. I'm enjoying this franchise. I'm just sad that
Mhm.
it got canceled.
Yeah. This kind of was a filler episode for me based on the previous ones, but it was still interesting for being a filler.
Right, there was still something there versus the filler.
Mhm.
Like in the first 15 minutes, like
Mhm.
filler,
Mhm.
gotta go.
Yep. Okay. Oh, wait, there was one last thing. Did you notice that Madame came after Brunette at the vegan dinner party about not receiving a wedding invitation? And Brunette was
Right,
like, "Don't come for
the
me
save
like
the
that."
date wasn't. It was,
Right, because she's sending out save the dates so that you can RSVP and then she'll send you the invitation. And she's like, don't play with
right,
me. You know, if you don't send me the save the date back to RSVP, you're not gonna get an invitation. This is a proper wedding I'm planning.
which makes total sense.
And poor
I mean,
Madame,
I'm
she's
like I'm
like,
Burnett. I'm like, yeah, perfect.
mm-hmm. Yeah. And Madame playing, I need to know I need to have the invitation so that I can budget for her present because she's not just, registered at any old place. Why does she have to budget for a present
Hmm.
if she's so
Right.
fabulous? Okay, yay,
Yeah.
Gatatua does
So you're
agree with
fine with
us. She
that.
thought it was filler. Yay.
Yay.
Okay, I think
But
we've
this is
summed
good.
up
This is
everything
good
in this
though.
episode. It is. It's getting good,
Agreed.
and it's leaving me with more questions for the next episode. If that kind of makes sense.
Same. So I'm definitely watching this. So I'm happy we're like recapping this franchise, even though it's like canceled. Hopefully they bring it back sometime down the road.
Okay, cool. So, can you meet me
All
again
right.
in 30 minutes to go over Atlanta?
Yes, I'll be back.
Okay, I'll put together everything and I'll see you here in 30 minutes. And I hope we can see you guys again in the chat in 30 minutes as well to go over the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
All
Bye.
right. See you in 30 minutes, everybody. Bye.